What is the difference between Jeep and all the other car manufacturers like Mazda, Toyota, Honda, Kia, Infiniti? Well, if you might have guessed, Jeep is just awesome at building off-road vehicles since 1943. As a matter of fact, the entire Jeep lineup is built for off-roading, and the Jeep Compass that we have here is absolutely no exception. That means you get some of that sweet Jeep 4x4 bread and butter baked into the Compass as well. So stick around and I'll tell you exactly why the Jeep Compass is such an awesome off-road vehicle. Crossovers are so hot right now that practically every single car manufacturers are now building and selling them in all different shapes, sizes, and form. And because of that, crossovers are now becoming a little bit boring. That is, until we got our hands on the 2019 Jeep Compass Trailhawk. No, none of that marketing materialistic photo shoots of cute SUVs shot out on a gravel pit again. If you actually took your Mazda CX-5 out off-roading, your wife would probably kill you before the car actually did. Now, to actually go off-roading, you need a lot of ground clearance, and the more souped up Trailhawk trim that we have here, it's got a total of 216 millimeters of ground clearance. Now, to put that number into perspective, that's about 1 inch more compared to the Mazda CX-5, as well as 1 inch more compared to the base Jeep Compass Sport trim. And check out these tapered front underhand bumper here. That's specifically designed so that you have a higher arrival and departure angle, 30 and 34 degrees to be exact. The vehicle's not only got to be able to actually handle the abuse, but keep passengers safe. In order to tackle these problems, the entire unibody frame structure design is built entirely of high-strength steel. And check out the sound of the door locking mechanism. Sounds like someone's loading an M1 rifle. I guess that kind of gives you the assurance that you're not going to fall out the door while you're doing whatever it is that you're trying to do out in the boonies. Alright, now moving on to the most exciting part, the powertrain. Engine is a 2.4 liter multi-air inline 4 producing 180 horsepower and 175 pound-feet of torque. Now, the Jeep Compass also comes equipped with a select track system that allows you to configure how the vehicle behaves under different terrain modes, including auto, snow, sand, mud, and exclusive to the Trailhawk trim, rock mode. Now, the Jeep Compass's 4x4 system is an active drive, or in the case of the Trailhawk trim, active drive low. Essentially, this 4x4 system is a full-time 4x4 system with an on-demand clutch that allows you to vary the speed between the front and the rear axle. It's also got 4-wheel drive low that allows you to shift to a low crawl ratio of 20:1. Now, the Trailhawk trim also comes equipped with hill descent assist as well as 4-wheel drive lock to lock both the front and the rear axle when all hell breaks loose on the trail. Last but not least is the aesthetics. I absolutely love that classical Jurassic Park green-orange color scheme going on the outside as well as the inside. And in the front, you've got that classical Jeep 7-slot front grille pattern here. Now, the Jeep Compass has got a towing capacity of 2,000 pounds with 2 matte finish tow hooks on the front as well as 1 in the back. Alright, enough talk, let's see how she drives. Alright, so I'm just going to talk about what I like and what I don't like about the Jeep Compass. Starting off with what I like about the Jeep Compass. And number one is affordability. Actually, the Trailhawk that we're driving now only cost $30,300, and the lowest sport trim only cost $23,800. That is actually a pretty good price, especially with the Trailhawk trim that we're driving now, because you're getting such an amazing car, especially the fact that it's trail rated and it just looks great and is ultra durable as well. It's got a high ground clearance, a really tight turning radius, and beefier suspensions as well. That just means you can take the Jeep Compass to places that you normally couldn't go. Number 3, what I really like about the Jeep Compass is really the aesthetics and the looks and feel, especially on the interior. The entire interior is layered with ultra durable, high density rubber material. And especially I really love this thick steering wheel. And take for example, the heated steering wheel system. I mean, the entire steering wheel is actually fitted with a heating element, unlike other manufacturers that only fit half or the sides of the steering wheel with the heating element essentially cheaping out. And what I really like about the Jeep Compass is the active drive low system. Essentially, it's a full-time 4x4 system that allows you to also lock the rear differentials as well to give you ultimate traction when hell really breaks loose on the trails. And because I have different terrain modes I can select using the select track system, the system can actually distribute the torque between the front and the rear, as well as control the shifting points and the steering responsiveness as well. And you get a few luxury features as well, even on standard. For example, the TRAILHAWK trim that we have here comes with blind spot monitoring. It comes with keyless entry. It has automatic engine start-stop and even electronic handbrake. And if you really want to upgrade, you can get the high altitude trim that also comes with a panoramic sunroof. Alright, now what I don't like about the Jeep Compass, number 1 is how the car actually rides. I mean, in comparison with the older brother Jeep Wrangler, the Jeep Compass actually has similar suspension characteristics, and the Jeep Wrangler feels incredible in the off-road environment. But the biggest difference here is that the Jeep Compass is a uni-body design, whereas the Jeep Wrangler is a body-on-frame. So the biggest difference in how the car feels is that you kind of like get thrown around while driving off-roading or on heavy bumps with the Jeep Compass. And it is kind of really different from the Jeep Wrangler experience, unfortunately. And number 2, what I don't like about the Jeep Compass is fuel efficiency. I mean, don't get me wrong, the active drive system is great and it's smart enough to figure out that if I'm driving, for example, now on a city road, I don't need the extra 4x4 traction. So what the system does is it uses the on-demand clutch system to disengage the rear axle, essentially leaving you in a front-wheel drive configuration to improve fuel economy. But even said and done, I'm only getting an average of 18.4 miles per gallon city and highway combined. And I drive pretty conservatively as well. That's not very good. Now, what I also don't like about the Jeep Compass is the acceleration. Because of the heavy-duty 4x4 system, it's just simply not designed for road driving. The end result is that the acceleration feels really sticky and I can't really get granular acceleration, and it's just not really fast as well. So you'll feel that, or you'll find that acceleration tends to be a little bit difficult to achieve, especially on highway merging. And what I also don't like about the Jeep Compass is the steering wheel. I mean, because it's got this thick bar running across the steering wheel, I actually don't really have a very assertive grip on the steering wheel. I kind of hold it like this rather than like this, if that makes any sense. And all in all, I really enjoy the Jeep Compass. Of course, you get that really unique Jeep ownership experience with this massive infotainment screen and, you know, the large steering wheel and of course the off-roading trail-rated capabilities. Alright guys, that's my take on the 2019 Jeep Compass Trailhawk Edition. Certainly, there are a few compromises for its rugged character, but overall, the Jeep Compass is a well-valued crossover that separates itself from the norm with its true 4x4 system and off-road capabilities. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel.